Hey guys, it's Beth Murphy here. So many times I want to talk, and I know I don't have time for a good editing job, and it doesn't matter though. You have my voice, you have my thoughts. You're the same way I am. You're cut from the same cloth. You'll get what you get. You don't need a production or anything. You need content. So one thing that I noticed I might be able to offer you, and that's the only reason I even talk in public, because I might know just a little bit more and it might make the difference. And I've been to that lower state, okay, when I was younger. I'm in the middle point of my life now, but I had a long history of crushing sadness, and you wouldn't know it if you're a new subscriber and you hear me laugh, and because that's my new job. That's my new job in life, is to enlighten. Where's my pencil? All right. Enlighten. And all that is to lighten up. That's all it means to me, to lighten up. So it might seem like I don't understand what's going on in the world, like I don't really know the dark places. I do know the dark places. In the world, not just in my life. I've seen it. However, I have come to understand what my true job is, what my true purpose is, and I believe it is also your purpose. So when I found out about where I fit in the scheme of things, and that's all this means to me. It was just when the light bulb went on, it was, now I understand why people don't get me. Now I understand why when I look out in the world, I don't really see people that are seeing what I'm seeing. And then it became, my desire to find you. And because of this day and age, it was very easy to do that with YouTube, of course. But I have found more of these people in my world too, in my real world. But so, you find yourself being who you are, being in the world, in the state that it's in. And you may ask yourself, why? Like, why do I have to be punished where I have a full sense of what's going on and I see what others don't see? So you could feel that as a burden, or you could feel that as fuel for your fire. So let's say, all right, now that you know the NFers, you know how they're only 25%. And I include all the intuitive feelers in this discussion. Now, more so with us, because what I have found with the J, this is a preference for order. A preference for order means some part of you believes in a higher order of things. I have had an INFP friend before I knew about these letters, before I knew anything. And she was, up until that point, she was the closest that I felt like understood me. But there was one thing we would argue about all the time. I was always trying to lift her up, and she did not have a belief that there was order. She believed everything was random, and that is the recipe for depression as far as I'm concerned. And then being a metaphysician and studying the nature of reality, I now am utterly confident that there is an order of things. I can't cut open a grapefruit without seeing the order of things. And I mean that literally. I will post a picture here of I just cut the grapefruit and I saw what I saw, and I couldn't get rid of it. It was beautiful to me, the order, you know. So anyway, that's who I'm talking to. You know, the 25% of the world is us, okay? Now, why is this special? To me, the end, the intuitiveness, is the degree of unity that you feel, because I have a deeper understanding of intuition. And I think that you would relate to that. The feeling is your ability to empathize. All right? And the combination of this is you naturally not wanting to do to others what you don't want done to you. We call that the golden rule. And this is why I think we're special. So what does that mean to be special? Does it mean you came here to suffer? Absolutely not. All your purpose is, and please believe me when I say, I study these concepts and the same things come forward over and over again from sources that do not know each other. And these sources are non-physical in nature. If you've ever heard me talk about where I get information, they are from a lot of places. And I'm not listening to some human on earth, okay? That's all regurgitated. I'm way beyond that. That's why that's also part of you. A lot of my INFJ people, they have had an awakening experience. They may be in touch with their psychic abilities. And everyone has these, you know, even the sensor thinkers. They're just not as developed because they haven't found the need to activate them. They could if they wanted, but they're not there yet. They're not interested in that. Sensors are interested in what they can see and data from the past to make their decisions. You and I are not like that. So, you know, what does this mean for us? What are we here for then? We know all of this stuff. What do we do about it? Well, you did not come to fix a broken world. To fix a broken world. Okay? Because you are a visionary. This is like your greatest asset. Love this about yourself. Love this. You don't need proof. You don't need proof. You're not here to regurgitate. You're not a drone. Listen, I don't mean to put down sensor thinkers. We need builders in the world. We need builders. You and I are architects. And architects are nothing without builders. We're just fluffy dreams. So everything is in its own perfection, in its own divine timing. But if you don't believe that, you won't feel that. And I do feel that. And that's why I can be upbeat and loving and kind and generous and happy and funny and all the wonderful things I like to think I am in my best self. Now, I'm not like that all the time because I'm still human. But I don't let what I see around me dictate anything, because I know I am here to envision something new. Take that role. That's who you are. You were not here to fix anything. Do you know why? Because who you really are is your focus of attention. And when you apply your attention to something you don't want, you are adding to that creation, and you are making it reverberate throughout yourself. So you are also bringing your own energy down, and you might not know that, but I'm here to impress that upon you. When you align your energy with something you don't want, not only are you adding to it with your attention, because attention is creation, but you are bringing your own vibration down, okay? And you'll hear Greg Braden talk about this. When you judge something, you are bringing your vibration down, because look what you're doing. Now you're focusing on that. Oh, look over there. That shouldn't be that way. You just lowered your vibration. If you really understand your purpose as a powerful creator, you would not waste your time looking around your world at what you don't want. You can only do one or the other. You can't look at what you don't want and create what you do want at the same time. Think about it as a giant pie graph. How much of the time are you spending looking at stuff you don't want? That could have been you using your creative forces to put out the vibration in the world of what you do want. And not only that, let's just talk about it in a practical way. If you're making yourself sad with your thoughts, who are you helping? You're depleting yourself. You can't be the light you are if you're dimming your own light with your negative thoughts. So don't look out in the broken world. Don't even proclaim it broken, because you don't understand the higher plan of things. At least you can acknowledge that. An ant doesn't know how to do mathematics. All right? At least acknowledge that you may not have all the hardware to understand the bigger plan. Okay? Something higher than you that is more organized, more loving, something else other than you. And again, I cut that grapefruit. Or you can follow Nassim Harrison. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but he's a physicist, and he'll talk about the Fibonacci. I don't know how to say that either. I don't hang out with physicists, but I read their stuff. How everything has that beautiful pi ratio, a seashell, and everything grows in the spiral. You can't explain that. You have to imagine there is a higher order of things. So at least you can acknowledge that you may not know what's going on. And even if you came here and you were one of few, like you and I are, one of few, even if we say we're 4%, okay? One of few. That just means you got here first. Why can't you just have gotten here first? Why can't you just think of it as an honor? And why am I saying this? Because I've read all of Dolores Cannon's books. And if you don't know her, this was a woman. She died a short time ago. I think she lived to be in her late 70s or so. But her entire life was dedicated to these practices of quantum healing, hypnosis therapy. Okay? And you can find that. You can Google that, even on YouTube. So that's how she would get information. And this is a source I would use as well. When I say non-physical sources, this is something I would use. So what she's finding, when you can put someone in hypnosis and you can access that other realms than the physical world, and you can get information. And what she was finding is there, and I don't know how much you know, so this is weird for me to talk about kind of strange things. I don't know how many of you are digging this stuff, but let's say the world was going to hell in a handbasket, and let's say that there was going to be an Armageddon. All right. Now, there are other forms of life that are interested in our planet. You're not alone. I like to think you don't know that by now. I mean, that you do know that by now, but you're not alone here in the universe. So other forms of life are interested in what we're doing here. And how did we get ourselves out of that Armageddon timeline? We had special, I don't even know how to say this, special souls, let's say, souls agreed to incarnate here and then infuse the world with that energy. And then you would continue on with what they were calling the first wave, the second, and the third wave. Now, I would think the first wave, listen, when those hippie kids came in the 60s, don't think they didn't blow everyone away. I wasn't here to see that, but I'm pretty sure that must have knocked everybody's socks off. And here we are coming off of, World War II. And in come these kids who refused to fight. And I feel that would be the first wave. And then you would have some before and after that, but that's generally like the first wave of incarnation. And then the second is, I think, people like myself, which is more unrest, more people coming and saying, I don't want this. And then there are still more coming. Little kids that are born, and I think it was a kid in his teen years that developed that thing to clean up the oceans, And this is what I keep hearing from other non-physical places, that they're going to keep being born. It's the children will clean up the world. The new kids coming in. So if I could just convince you that you don't know everything, maybe I can convince you that you're not here to just observe and be sad. In fact, you're here to be that visionary and to dream new dreams. And then your job is to move into those dreams, to then radiate that. Now, here's the catch. When you move into those new dreams and you radiate that, don't mess up your work and look backwards at the stuff you don't want again. And how do you do that? You make peace with it and you accept it. That stuff is there for the people that need that. You're not alone on the planet, but you did agree to come here. So stay in your own lane. Seriously. I see a lot of loving beings, my INFJ friends, and I get a sense of where they're at when they're posting and stuff. Stay in your own lane. Don't worry about anyone else. Focus all your attention on your creations. If people will want to follow you, if they are able to follow you, they will want to. They will be drawn into that. But they have a right. They have a free will. Maybe they can't really believe life can be that good yet. And see, I have to do the same. I have to just put it out there and then have no expectations. Even if there's 3 people that got this, then I would have, been helpful. I don't need to impress a lot of people. My needs are to express whatever is inside of me. That's your whole purpose. And I've read a lot of literature, I do a lot with channeled work. I don't do it myself, but I trust where I'm drawn. And it always comes through the same. What is your purpose? Your purpose is to be as fully you as you can. That's all that is asked of you as a creator. Be as fully you as you can. And keep reaching for what feels good. And then don't look at other people's creations. Stay in your lane. All right? I hope I gave you something. I hope. Only because we are so powerful, and I'd hate to see you waste your beautiful intelligence and your magnificence on looking at other people's current creations, because most people, remember, are not visionaries. Okay? So they're just regurgitating. And your job is to make the blueprints, and they can follow if they want. But that's all. Just do it for the joy of doing it. And then listen, there are people out there like us, like you're resonating with what I'm saying. There's more of me. I have found them in my own hometown. Just believe they're there and then you'll connect with them. I'm actually thinking we're not even the small percent that they think. I don't even know if that's accurate anymore. Because when I was younger, I tested like an INFP and I had a spiritual awakening. And you know what? I remember the turning point, and I'm going to make a video about this. I remember the turning point was when I realized, just like I was telling you about my INFP friend, life is not random. When I realized I deserved everything I was getting in life because, like, if I wasn't happy with the people around me, I knew I deserved to be with them because I was acting the same way. And then my life kind of came crashing down, as it usually does in a waking experience, and everything changed. And honestly, I think I moved into being an INFJ because of that experience. So again, I don't even know that we're 4%. I think we're growing. So just hang in there. I love you guys so much. Sometimes when you're sad, I just want to hug you and I can't. So I did this. All right. Take care, guys. I don't know what I'll come up with next, but I'll see you later. Bye.